Good morning, student. Today we will discuss about equilibrium. Equilibrium is a condition in which force cancel one another's, means one force cancels another force. Therefore, the resultant force acting on it is zero. It is also known as balance, or it is a condition in which influence are cancelled by others, resulting in a stable, balanced, or unchanging system. The resultant of all force acting on it is a zero. Equilibrium in sports, balance is the ability to stay upright or stay in a control of body movements. Balance means ability to control your body without movement against gravity. And stability means ability to control your body during movement against the gravity. This is the difference between balance and stability. Equilibrium is of two types: static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. Static means fixed, dynamic means motion. Static equilibrium of balance, it is body is body is at rest or completely motionless. It is a state where body is at rest or motionless, like just say is standing on one leg. Okay, this is a static equilibrium. There is no motion. Say is stable. Okay, stable in a stable in a stable body is at rest or completely motionless. It is a state where the body is rest or motionless, like standing on one leg. And dynamic means all the and inner force applied force as well as the internal uh, initial force acting on the moving body are in a balance, resulting in a movement with unchanging speed or direction. To control the equilibrium and achieve balance, stability need to be maximized. It is a state where body is in motion with un, unchanged acceleration created by the applied or um, initial um, inertial force, like walking, running, or running on a small base. Applied and inertial force on a moving body are balanced. Therefore, there is a unchanging speed or direction. The movement, there is a movement with unchanging speed or direction. This is a dynamic. For examples, walking or running in a small base. Balancing, center of gravity. Center of gravity, it is a center of gravity. Okay, center of gravity, it's a point in which the body weight is equally balanced in all the direction. Center of gravity, it's a point in which the body weight is balanced in all directions. Balance and stability depend on center of gravity. It is the ability to maintain the line of gravity of body between the base of support and minimal posture away. The scene of stability in expose. The stability of an athlete depend upon the center of gravity. It is exactly in the middle of the body around which it is rotate freely in any directions, and where the weight of the body is centers. It is exactly at a point along with the midline of the body, that is near the navel point. And in a sports, the persons who has the ability to balance himself, um, whether stationary or in moving, is a key to success in the sports and physical activity. Principle of center of gravity. For examples, in wrestling, the down player the down players lie down or bend down, that is lower his center of gravity. If the center of gravity is low, then the stability is more. Okay, he lower his center of gravity by expanding the leg and hand. अपने leg और hand को expand करके he is increasing the stability. Second example, in rest in weightlifting, the player widen his base by keeping the feet apart. अपने feet के distance को थोड़ा लंबा कर देता है, which provide more stability and balance. If the base is more, there will be the more stability and balance. Example 3. During landing, players bend his leg, which provide fast control of stability. Moreover, it reduces the chance of injury from the impact if he has ability to control the stability. Principle of stability and balance. First principle of stability and balance, center of gravity within the base of support. To remain in balance and stable position, the center of gravity should be within the base of support. Okay, अपने base center of gravity should be within the base of support. उनका सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी बेस के सपोर्ट में होना चाहिए. वाइडन द बेस ऑफ सपोर्ट टू इंक्रीज द स्टेबिलिटी. वाइडन, ठीक है, उसको थोड़ा चौड़ा करिए. ठीक है, बेस शुड बी वाइडन. वाइडर द बेस, मोर इज द स्टेबल of the object. For example, pen and bottles. Pen has less base as compared to the bottles. Therefore, the bottles is more stable as compared to pencil. Okay, more is the, if the base is more, that will be the more stable. Stability will be more. Lower the center of gravity. For more stable position, the center of gravity should be lowered down. If the center of gravity is less, that will be the more stable. There will be the more stability. Expand the base of support means increasing the base of support. If the base of support is increased, the stability will be more by increasing the base of support. Increase friction between the supporting surface. Greater the frictions between the supporting surface and the body, greater is the balance. Friction is the opposite force, so friction does not allow you to move forward. Therefore, the friction between the supporting surface and the body, between your supporting surface and the body, then there will be the greater balance. Increase mass. Higher the mass or weight, if the person is heavy, then there will be the more stability, whereas less mass or less weight, there is less stability. If the person is 10 kg, he is less stability as the person who is 50 kg. The more heavier the weight, there will be the more stability. Push up close to the base of support. If the push or pull of the object is close to the base of support, then there will be the more stable. There will be the more stability. If you push or pull to the close of support. Proper catching technique. During catch, unstable positions may arise. Thus, proper catching technique. If you have proper catching technique, you should know to receive the impetus of force. Therefore, there will be the more stability. Proper falling technique. You should know. The player should know. Otherwise, the injury may arise. Due to unstable positions, there is a chance of injury. Therefore, you should know a proper technique. Rotation about the axis. The players should be aware about the rotation, about the axis, rotation of the axis, as is provide easy balance. It's provide you to easily balance yourself. For examples, in a moving cycles, if you know, if you have the knowledge about the axis of the moving cycles, then the stationary cycle, then there will be the more stability, there will be the more balance. If the rotation about the axis, if you know about the rotation of axis, you will able to balance yourself. These are the principles of stability and balance. We have complete our chapters, 8 chapters: fundamentals of anatomy, physiology and kinesiology in sports. Let's once again we do our fast revision of these chapters. Anatomy. Anatomy is a branch of biology which study the human body structures. Anatomy study about the structures of human body, structures of the human body, its shape, size, and it interrelation of the various parts of the body. Anatomy study about the body structures of our internal body, structures of the kidney, heart, lungs, and its shape, and how they are interrelated to various part of the body. And physiology, in physiology we study about the functioning of various organs, how the various organs function, and what are their effect, and how they are interrelated with each others, their relationship with each others, and what are their relationship with the others organs and their effect. This is physiology. In anatomy we study the study of structures of various organs, its shape, size. And physiology we study the functioning of various organs, how the various organs of our body function, and what are their effect. Skeletal system it consists bones and joint. It consists bone and joint joint. There are 206 bones in the human body. At the time of birth, we have approx 270 bones, and it fused and become 206 bones in the adulthood. Bones is divided into three parts: head, shaft, and tailbone. There are uh, types of bones: long bones, which is present in the thigh, hand, etc. Bones, short bones, they are short in size, Q shape, they are present in wrist. Flat bones, they are flat, and these flat bones protect our organs. And irregular bones, they are irregular in shape, like in vertebra, skull. Sesamoid bone means those who are fixed in the tendons. These bones are fixed in the tendons. And cartilaginous bones means these bones are the fixed and soft. They are found in the ear and nose. Joint, there are three types of joint: immovable joints, slightly movable joint, and uh, completely movable joint. Immovable joint means fixed joint. Fixed joint, these joints, in this joint there is no movement possible. For example, in skull joint. Slightly movable joint means cartilaginous joint. In this joint there is slightly movement is possible. For examples, in intervertebration. And synovial joint means those joint freely movable joint. These are freely movable joint. And synovial joints, there are types of synovial joint: ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivot joint, gliding joint, saddle joint, condyloid joint, ball and socket joint, which is present in your hip, hinge joint, which is present in your elbow, pivot joint, which is present in your neck, gliding, carpals, saddle joint, which is present in your thumb. Functions of skeletal system. The first function is support. Is support. It support. It provides the framework, structure to the body. It acts as a pillar and structure to the individual. It provides you structure, shape to the body, and also protect. Skeletal systems protect the internal organs like the skulls, brain, like skull protect the brains, ribs protect the heart, livers, etc. So skeletal systems act as a protection. Junction. Skeletal systems provide junction or attachment. Storehouse. Skeletals act as a storehouse. It it store the minerals, salt, calcium, etc. Manufacturing of red blood cells. Um, the skeletal system manufactures the red blood cells, and it also helps in growth and development. Act as a levers, which act as a levers. Bones act as a levers. Therefore, the movement is possible. Bones act as a levers, and muscle act as force. Movement. Skeletal muscle attached to the bones provide you external visible movement. And ossification. Bones are capable of doing the self repairs. Bones repair itself. If the bone is damaged, it may repair itself. If you take a proper treatment, it will um, repair itself. Muscular systems. um, every movement of our body is due to the muscle, whether internal or external movement. It is due to the muscle contractions, means shortening and lengthening of muscle. Okay, muscle contraction means shortening and lengthening of the muscle. Due to muscle contractions, the movement is possible. And muscles also help in circulation of blood. They also protect and hold in place the abdominal organs. Muscles also provide the shape to the individuals, protect the bones, internal organs. And muscles. There are three types of muscle: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Skeletal muscles or voluntary muscle or striated muscles. These muscles work according to the will of a person. Okay, this muscle work according to the will of the person. For examples, the muscle attached to the bones, thus they are also known as skeletal muscles. Smooth muscles or involuntary muscle. This muscle does not work according to the will of you. Uh, they work even when you are asleep. Okay, these muscles are mainly found in internal organ, intestine, stomach, for pushing the food, etc. And cardiac muscle, this is the only muscle which is found in the heart. It is the involuntary in nature, and it is found only in the heart. Mechanism of muscular contraction, how the muscle contract. Okay, contract is muscular movement. How the muscular movement possible? Muscle contract or short when stimulated by the central nervous system. First, messages are sent via motor nerves or motor neuron. Motor neuron के through messages are sent to the muscle. Then the motor neurons split into branch. motor neuron split into many branches, and that branch is linked attached to each and every muscle fibers. When the when the motor neuron stimulated, it release a chemicals at a motor end plane or synapse. When stimulate, okay, when motor neuron stimulate, it release the chemicals at a motor end plate, which bring actin and myosin molecule sliding over each others. When the actin and myosin molecules slide over each others, the muscle, there will be the shortening of muscle fibers. This is the mechanism of muscular contraction. First is मैसेज आर सेंड विया मोटर न्यूरॉन के थ्रू मैसेज सेंड होती है. देन मोटर न्यूरॉन split into branch, and that branch is attached to every muscle fibers. When the motor neuron is stimulated, it release a chemical. वो chemical release करती है कहाँ पे? At a motor's end plate. And that chemicals release the chemicals which bring the actin and myosin molecules slide over each others, resulting in shortening of muscle fiber. This is the diagram. This is the structures of muscles. Okay, muscle is covered by the epimysiums. Then muscle fibers, pedimysiums, endomysiums. These are the structures. And this is the actin um, actin and myosin filament. This actin and myosin filament slide over each other. When they slide, then the shortening of muscle. Respiratory system. Oxygen is important component on which our life depend. Okay? Our life depend on oxygen. It is very essential to every cells and tissue in the body. Oxygen is brought into the body when we inhale, and its byproduct, that is carbon dioxide, is given out when we exhale. Oxygen, the interchange of gas, that is oxygen is fused with the blood, and carbon dioxide is diffused from the blood. The process of respirations. In the process of respiration, respiration involves lungs, diaphragm, respiratory system, nose, mouth, larynx, pharynx, trachea, etc. There are two type of respiratory system: external respiration, and respirations take place between lungs and blood. In external respiration, the lungs take place in lungs with the help of alveoli. The carbon dioxide, in external respiration, the carbon dioxide is diffused from the blood, that is carbon dioxide is taken out from the blood, and oxygen is fused with the blood. External respiration, it is between the lungs and blood, and therefore the oxygen is fused with the blood and carbon dioxide is diffused from the blood. And internal respirations, in internal respiration, it is between the blood and the tissue. The oxygenated blood reaches to the tissue. It reaches to the tissue where oxygen is used up during the energy productions. During the energy productions, carbon dioxide is produced. That carbon dioxide is diffused with the blood diffused with the blood for purification in the lungs. Okay, external, internal. External between lungs and blood, in lungs and blood oxygen fused with the blood, and carbon dioxide is diffused from the blood and internal mean blood and the tissue. The oxygen rich blood take place in tissue, and itna the in respiratory oxygenated blood reach to the tissue, whereas oxygen is used during the energy production के time में that oxygen is used, and um, these metabolic actions produce the carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is carried away by the blood to the lungs for purification through the external respiration, and the same process in external respiration the blood is purified and it come to the internals, and the purified blood uh, reach to the tissue for energy productions, and then carbon dioxide is produced, and then it is carried away by the blood to the lungs for purification. This is the process. Mechanisms of breathing. Mechanisms of breathing. How we breathe. When we breathe in, when we breathe in, inhale, the muscle across the rib contract. Okay, muscle across the rib contract. It pulls the ribs upward. When we breathe in, during inhalations, muscle across the rib cage contract. Okay, muscles across the rib contract, therefore it pull the rib cage upward and diaphragm downward. Therefore um, therefore therefore the size of the lung increase. As the size of lung increase, the volume of lungs increase, and there will be the low pressures in the volume. Low pressure is developed in the lungs. If there is low pressure in the lungs, then there will be the inhalations, and in breathing out during exhale during exhale when we relax, the muscle, the rib cage come inward during exhale. Okay, when the muscle of the diaphragm breathing out, when the muscle of the diaphragms and the rib cage relax, when it's relaxed, the rib cage come inward, diaphragm upward, and there is lot of pressures in the lungs. Due to pressure in the lungs, the air is breathed out. Yes, look at here. High pressure is developed in the lungs, therefore the air is pushed out. Okay, during breathing out, rib cage come inward, diaphragm upward, therefore the high pressure is developed in the lungs, and the air is pushed out. During breathing, the rib cage is pull upward and sideward, and the diaphragm contract. Okay, थोड़ा सा नीचे, and there is low pressure is developed in the lungs, therefore the air is sucked inside. This is breathing, and this is breathe out. And the circulatory system means circulation of blood throughout the body. The circulatory system, it consists of heart, blood vessels, arteries, arterioles, capillaries, veins, etc. Blood circulation, how the blood circulate. Through the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, blood Through superior vena and inferior blood enter to the right artery, from here to the right ventricles, and from through pulmonary artery it's go to the lungs, and then um, in lungs the blood is purified, and through pulmonary veins it's come to left arteries, from left artery to left ventricles, and left ventricle to through aorta it's go back to the blood, from aorta it's go to the body, oxygenated blood go to the body, and then the same process. Okay, this is for lungs. Here's from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, here's the impure blood comes, and from here through pulmonary arteries is go to the lungs for purifications. From here the blood is purified, then purification blood enters to the left arteries, from left arteries it go to the left ventricles, from outer it's go to the purified blood go to the body, and then against the impure blood comes to the left right arteries, from right arteries, and this is the whole process of circulation of blood, how the blood circulate in the body. And your heart rate it is the number of pumping of the heart in 1 minute, 72 times per minute. And stroke volume is the amount of blood, it is the amount of blood pumped out by the heart in 1 beat. 1 beat means how much the blood is pumped out by the heart. It is about 110 milliliters per beat. And carbon output is the amount of blood pumped out by the heart in 1 minute. In 1 minute how much blood is pumped out by the heart, and it is about 20 liters, where in the trained athletes, 20 liters approach, and in normal 5 to 6 liters. Blood pressure is the pressures force exerted by the blood on the on the wall of the blood vessels, on the wall of the arteries. Force pressures exerted by the blood on the wall of the arteries. And it is two type, systolic and diastolic. Systolic means higher pressures, it is the higher pressure, maximum pressures exerted by the blood on the wall of the blood vessels. And diastolic is the minimum pressures exerted by the blood while traveling on it, it is during the relaxations of the heart.